writes in with a question about location releases and permissions. Hi, I'm Gordon Firemark, and this is Asked and Answered, where I answer your entertainment law questions so you can take your career in business and show business to the next level.
Hi, I'm Sarah Werner. I am the host, writer, editor, producer, pretty much everything here at the Right Now Podcast. The Right Now Podcast is a podcast for aspiring writers, and it gives you the time, energy, and courage you need to pursue your passion and to write every day.
Hey, good morning, Bill. My name is Dana, aka Matt Caster. And I actually found you up online. I was looking for HOA communities through the Google Plus system. And your name popped up, believe it or not. And then I seen that you had a podcast, and that's what I do. I run a website called yourpodcastreview.com. And I've done a little over 1,000 so far. So I just want to show you a few things because, man, I'd love to interview you for this HOA thing that I got going on. Okay. Now, everything that I do to the specs of the AES, which is the Audio Engineering Society. And I am a member, and these are the guys that Congress goes to when they want to talk about their loudness laws with like Comcast Cable, NBC, CBS, and things of this nature. And the meter that I'm using right now, this is a free meter. You can download it. And that's the number one question I get asked all the time is, how do you know where to start? And this is how I start. One of the best meters out there. Now, these guys, they just work, $60,000, $70,000, $150,000 systems that go into production, TV shows, and things of this nature. And this is their way of giving back to the community. So what this shows us is your LUFS, the LK full scale, is the same as LUFS for what we're going to be talking about. And you're at a negative 16, which is awesome. AES recommends between a negative 16 and a negative 20 with a negative 1 dB full scale, which is here. The LRA is your loudness range. They recommend nothing higher than a 4 dBs. So throughout your entire file, your audio, you have a 5.5 dB range, okay? And this is where we get the dB full scale, which is a 0.2, and that's why you have 1,001 clips, or the times it has peaked above 0 dB full scale. And you can see right here they are starting here, and then they wind up over here. And I believe this is your outro. And if it is, this is a real easy fix, guy. And it's super simple. And I use Reaper. That's my DAW system. I absolutely love it. And if you look at these numbers, this tells us the same thing. The negative 13.2. And with Reaper, you just add 3 dBs. It's the way that I have it set up. So this is actually a 16.2, and this is actually a 13.5. And that's where you're getting your 3.8 dB total peak over. Even though it says here in the meter that it's only a 0.2, what we're doing is we're actually taking what has peaked in your audio, and we're using that level as well, and then it gives you an overall average. And this is what it looks like after I ran it through Reaper, and that's where we're going to go to next. It's at a negative 15.8, which is awesome. Your loudness range now has come down to a 2.9. You have a negative 1.1 dB full scale, and you have 0 clips. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and jump over to Reaper, and now we are here live. And these are the same numbers right here. Okay, that's what we were just talking about. Now, the clip on the top is your original, and the one on the bottom is the one that I've just played around a little bit with in Reaper. So we don't need this anymore. So what I'm going to do is we're going to play this. This is your original clip where it starts, and we're just going to watch the meter here. Okay?
So with that, we'll get going. We're on Blab. I tuned down my sound a little bit.
No, sir.
Now, see, I know, you realize that your sound was running a little bit hot. You did turn it down, man, and that's awesome. You got a good ear for that. I absolutely loved your podcast, just so you know. So we're going to go ahead and clear these meters. And then we're going to go ahead and go to our next spot. Like I said, I believe this is your outro. I haven't really listened to enough of your podcast to know. But if it is, you may want to go back and just kind of change this just a little bit. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play it now. This is your outro.
Talk a lot about Craigslist, and that sounds like a wrap. So we'll stay on for a few minutes if anybody wants to come up and talk after the podcast.
Alrighty, folks. We'll see you.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Weekly Scam. For full show notes, go to The Weekly Scam.
Now, as you can see, it jumped up to a 2.9, which is, real close to a 3 dBs over, the 0 dB range that what you want. Okay, so at this particular time, what I've done is I'm going to go ahead and pull my mastered track off of there. I don't know what type of DAW system you use. I'm just going to go ahead and take this track off. Before I do, I wanted to just show you. You can see the difference here and down here, and then you can see it here and here. Now, with Reaper, it's a real simple fix. And let's go ahead and I'm going to remove that bottom track. We're going to open this one up a little bit. And then we're going to zoom in on it. Now, I can see where the clips start right here. So with Reaper, man, all I do is I simply come in and I'm going to hit the S key. I'm going to split it there. And then I'm going to come over here where it's peaking again, and I'm going to split it there. And I simply take left mouse click and drop this track down. I'm going to line it back up again. Now with Reaper, I can come up to the top, and you're going to see this cursor change. And I can also do this from the bottom. And I want to grab this. And see, all I have to do, man, I can tell, like we said, we've already determined it was 3 dBs over, close to it, 2.9. So I can just come down. Anywhere in that range is going to put me well within what your audio is already running. Okay, and if we come back to the front of it and go back up to track 1, remember now, this is your same track. Okay, the only thing that I've done is I just removed the other track. And I'm dropping the ones that are peaking, so, down to this second track. So I see this is where the peak really starts here, so I want to get close. I'm going to hit the up arrow key. It'll keep me right there where I want to be. Same thing with the S key. I'm going to back out a little bit. I'm going to come over and find out where it really starts to come. It's going to be right in here as the last peak. The up arrow key, and there it is. I can see it. I can keep coming in on it. That's what I want. I want this line right here. So I'm simply going to put the cursor there, hit split again. I'm going to back out of it. Now, when I showed you the one way about dropping it down, I can actually mix both these tracks now to the same level. And I can actually leave it here as well and come up and grab it and just bring it down to where it looks like it runs. See how it runs now? Right across with the rest of your audio. And that's it, brother. So if I come back, let's zoom back out. And this is the one that I dropped down. I can simply grab this track again, bring it right back up, line it back up, and now your track runs the same. I would simply come up and then render the file, and it's done deal. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that. If you get an opportunity, like I said, man, I'd love to interview you on the HOA thing. So if you're interested, give me a holler. You can hit me up at admin or Dana at HOAnews.net. All right? All right, man. You have a wonderful day. God bless. We are out of here.